A new report by the Department of Homeland Security creating quite a stir. It's entitled, quote, Right-Wing Extremism, Current Economic and Political Climate Fueling Resurgence and Radicalization and Recruitment. Here it is.
The Department of Homeland Security, Dr. Dobson, is warning law enforcement officials about the rise in right-wing extremist activity.
While it takes aim at conservatives, it ignores liberal groups.
And I wonder if they have a report on left-wing fanatics.
The Obama administration also issued a warning about left-wing extremists. That was in January.
They were also saying today that when the troops come back from Iraq or Afghanistan, that they're going to be a big problem. There are no Timothy McVeighs out there right now. They're making a big deal out of something that hasn't happened and may not happen.
You know, one of the greatest lies of the Trump era was that this dude was remotely up to the task of being some Hitlerian figure. Now here we stand, with every network, including Fox News, having called the race for Biden. And how has our orange Mussolini reacted? By doing what he always does, saying a bunch of ridiculous crap, sending out a bunch of stupid tweets, and not a whole heck of a lot else. The people who have stoked the most outrageous fears about Donald Trump have been completely wrong. But those in the media who have terrified millions with their Donald Trump ghost stories and murder mysteries, they destroyed the ability to tell the real story of the worst parts of the Trump administration. The failures of any of the wild conspiracies of the Trump era to actually materialize will just be one more nail in their coffin.
A new details, Vice President Mike Pence has been sued by Congressman Louis Gohmert of East Texas and other GOP members. The lawsuit appears to be aimed at overturning President-elect Joe Biden's election victory. It focuses on Pence's role in next month's congressional meeting where they count states' electoral votes. His role in presiding over the meeting is largely a ceremonial one, according to the federal law known as the Electoral Count Act. Gohmert and other GOP members are asking a federal judge to strike down the law as unconstitutional, granting the vice president's authority to overturn Trump's results in key battleground states.
But the bottom line is, the court is saying, we're not going to touch this. You have no remedy. Basically, in effect, the ruling would be that you got to go to the streets and be as violent as Antifa and BLM.
They have tried to steal this election in front of everyone. And as I told them 20 years ago, I tell them again, I don't know how this is going to end, but if they want to fight, they better believe they've got one. I believe this is a war against good versus evil. And now they seek nothing less than the heist of the 2020 election, and we say, no way. We commit to Christ, and we commit to war against the globalists. And not everybody is going to make it, but that's okay, because in the end, God will fulfill his destiny and will reward the righteous.
President Trump yesterday said, we are not giving up the White House. He said, we are going to fight. And I believe that. I mean, they are taking our country from us. And this is a prelude to the war that is about to happen.
We're all going to be up here and we're going to be breaking those windows.
The day before, on January 5th, Ryan made it clear she was delighted to be heading to D.C. on a private jet.
President Trump requested that we be in D.C. on the 6th.
The president had been tweeting that the election had been stolen.
Absolutely. And not just the president, there's also, I follow everything that Rudy Giuliani says.
But 86 judges in 60 cases found no irregularities.
Some Republicans, some appointed by Donald Trump, said that there hadn't been fraud. That didn't persuade you.
That didn't faze me because no one heard the evidence, and that is what is devastating.
Nor did it faze her that election officials in all 50 states certified the vote.
could take third world countries, just take a look. Take third world countries, their elections are more honest than what we've been going through in this country. It's a disgrace. We will not take it anymore.
Let's have trial by combat.
He just said trial by combat. I'm ready. I'm ready.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength.
Yes. Invade the Capitol building.
Take the Capitol. Take the Capitol. Take the Capitol. Take the Capitol. Take the Capitol right now.
We're stuck with a president who lost the election by a lot, and we have to live with that for 4 more years. We're just not going to let that happen.
What are we supposed to do? Okay? The Supreme Court's not helping us. No one's helping us. Only us can help us. Only we can do it.
We're gathered together in the heart of our nation's capital for one very, very basic and simple reason: to save our democracy. They've used the pandemic as a way of defrauding the people.
President Trump is here at the Capitol building with us. We saw the motorcade. Shit is about to get real.
Hey guys, Trump's coming right now. Coming on the other side of the Capitol. Alex, this is your revolution, buddy.
Love you, Alex Jones!
This thing is happening. I salute you. And will everyone you know go to the other side of the Capitol? That's where Trump's going to be. Somebody in there that should not be in there, and our country will be destroyed, and we're not going to stand.
Unquestionable that our votes were stolen. It's unquestionable. There's so much proof.
The made-up story. If this happened to the Democrats, there'd be hell all over the country going on. There'd be hell all over the country.
Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
Knitting definitely reduces tension, and so when there are people who are leading our country that I think really are incompetent, knitting helps me cope.
Republicans are constantly fighting like a boxer with his hands tied behind his back. It's like a boxer.
Stop hitting him!
We want to be so respectful of everybody, including bad people. We're going to have to fight much harder. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country. Our country has been under siege for a long time. If Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election.
Mike Pence does not have the authority under the Constitution and the law to do anything more than he has done today.
And Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country.
fucking day? Millions of Americans are out!
We were going to sit home and watch a big victory, and everybody had us down for a victory. It was going to be great. And now we're out here fighting.
There are new numbers on the race for the White House, with a Fox poll showing the president trailing Biden by 8 points now.
Right over there, right there, you see the event going to take place, and I'm going to be watching it, because history is going to be made. We're going to see whether or not we have great and courageous leaders, or whether or not we have leaders that should be ashamed of themselves. Throughout history, throughout eternity, they'll be ashamed. And you know what? If they do the wrong thing, we should never, ever forget that they did. Never forget. We should never, ever forget.
What are we waiting for? We already voted, and what have they done? They stole it! We want our fucking country back! Let's take it! Let's go! These motherfuckers are traitors! They're fucking traitors! Fuck you, police! You're outbreakers! You swore! You swore!
You will have a president who lost all of these things. Or you will have a president, to put it another way, who was voted on by a bunch of stupid people. Lost all of these things. You will have an illegitimate president. That's what you're These are the facts that you won't hear from the fake news media. It's all part of the suppression effort. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
That's all they got! What the fuck? Let's go!
Our media is not free. It's not fair. It suppresses thought. It suppresses speech. And it's become the enemy of the people. It's called suppression. And that's what happens in a communist country. That's what they do. They suppress. We will not be intimidated into accepting the hoaxes and the lies that we've been forced to believe over the last several weeks. We've amassed overwhelming evidence about a fake election. Last night was a little bit better because of the fact that we had to realize much in one specific state, but they cheated like hell. I've been telling these Republicans, get rid of Section 230. And for some reason, Mitch and the group, they don't want to put it in there. And they don't realize that that's going to be the end of the Republican Party as we know it, but it's never going to be the end of us. Never. Let them get out. Let the weak ones get out. This is a time for strength.
Hey.
Traitors, get the fucking book.
Beautiful. This is our motherfucking dream. Oh God, help us!
Of the United States, where he now appears to have turned his attention on someone who is perhaps his most loyal soldier these last 4 years, tweeting, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth." That's the last tweet available from Donald Trump.
We are at war. Right on, brother. And kill one of us. And no matter what, even if it kills you, remain a free man. Die on your feet. Live on your knees. Fuck the AP and everything else. You motherfuckers. Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers. Fucking listen to them. We allowed this to happen. Now we gotta change it. They abuse us, they laugh at us, they steal our money, they fucking lock us down, and then they go out and fucking gallivant. Hang them!
They also want to indoctrinate your children in school by teaching them things that aren't so. They want to indoctrinate your children. It's all part of a comprehensive assault on our democracy, and the American people are finally standing up and saying, no, this crowd is, again, testament to it. They defrauded us out of a win in Georgia, and we're not going to forget it. There's only one reason the Democrats could possibly want to eliminate signature matching, oppose voter ID, and stop citizenship confirmation. Are you a citizenship? You're not allowed to ask that question. Because they want to steal the election. The radical left knows exactly what they're doing. They're ruthless, and it's time that somebody did something about it.
Who's house? We're outnumbered. There's a fucking million of us out there, and we are listening to Trump. You're the boss. It's sad.
When you hear, while there is no evidence to prove any wrongdoing, this is the most fraudulent thing anybody can. This is a criminal enterprise. This is a criminal enterprise. When you catch somebody in a fraud, you're allowed to go by very different rules. So I hope Mike has the courage to do what he has to do. And I hope he doesn't listen to the rhinos and the stupid people that he's listening to.
1776! You afraid of that, Well, guess what? America showed up!
We won in a landslide. This was a landslide.
It's all a fucking job, right? You got no morals about nothing. You do your fucking job. They hired the right fucking morons, I'll tell you that.
They said it's not American to challenge the election. This is the most corrupt election in the history, maybe of the world.
Where the fuck is Nancy?
We paid for it. This is our house.
In addition to challenging the certification of the election. I'm calling on Congress and the state legislatures to quickly pass sweeping election reforms, and you better do it before we have no country left. Today is not the end, it's just the beginning. Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
Cruz would want us to do this, so thank you.
We must stop the steal. We must stop the steal. We must stop the steal. We must stop the steal.
They work for us. They don't get to steal it from us.
We allow this group of people to illegally take over our country. It's illegal in the us. We will not take it anymore.
Let's have trial by combat.
They want to take down the wall. Let's let everyone fall. Let's let everybody The caravans are forming again. They want to come in again and go off our country. We fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country.
What do you think it's going to do for race relations when they make me pay you for reparations? What do you think that's going to do for race relations, officer? Do you think it's going to help?
I don't have any idea what was in his heart about what he wanted to happen once they were in the Capitol, but he wanted there to be chaos, and I'm sure you've also had conversations with other senior White House officials, as I have. As this was unfolding on television, Donald Trump was walking around the White House confused about why other people on his team weren't as excited as he was, as you had rioters pushing against Capitol Police trying to get into the building. As it was happening, he was delighted.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
We're gonna stand again!
And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come.
Jesus Christ! We invoke your name! Amen! Amen!
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Christ is king! Christ is king! Christ is king! How you doing, pepper spray, fucking pepper, pussy? Fucking pussy! Donald Trump tweeted out a video about 25 minutes ago. He said, we did a good fucking job. We took the Capitol. First time in 200 years, a government building has been fucking occupied.
We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country. So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I want to thank you all. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you all for being here. This is incredible. Thank you very much.
Why the hell the whole country hates you and thinks you're scum and aren't you glad your face is covered?
I would say I felt like I was doing my patriotic duty. So me personally, I do not feel a sense of shame or guilt from my heart from what I was doing. I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
We have chosen an aim for ourselves, and we are fanatically fighting for it, relentlessly till we die if needed.
Hitler's election campaign was a potion made of fear and hate, of the damaged republic and the supposed Bolshevik conspiracy. He used the fear of poverty and unemployment as well.
On the 8th of November 1923, the Beer Hall Putsch took place when Adolf Hitler, along with First World War hero Erich Ludendorff, led an attempted coup against the Weimar government by trying to seize power in the Bavarian city of Munich. The putsch failed, and Hitler was later found guilty of treason. Sentenced to 5 years in prison, however, he was released after serving just 8 months. The Beer Hall Putsch was conceived at a time when the Weimar Republic was politically, socially, and economically crippled. Hyperinflation had reached its worst level since the occupation of the Ruhr, and many so-called patriotic associations looked to emulate Mussolini's successful March on Rome that had taken place the previous year, in an attempt to wrest control away from the seemingly useless Weimar government.
Public order was breaking. The military force of Hitler's party, the SA, consisted of an army of 500,000. Threat of a coup. One last try to alleviate the chaos.
Having led a group of approximately 600 brown-shirted Nazi stormtroopers to a place known as the Bürgerbraukeller, Hitler burst into a meeting at which Gustav von Kahr, the state commissioner, was speaking. Threatening him at gunpoint, Hitler demanded support for the putsch. Having made a speech that was then met with uproarious approval from the 3,000 members of the audience, Hitler then called on Ludendorff to further press Kahr to support the coup. Kahr eventually agreed, and he and his fellow politicians were then allowed to leave. They immediately alerted the police and the army, who began to move against the putsch. 16 Nazis and 4 policemen were killed in a brief firefight the next day. Hitler was arrested 2 days later, but got revenge on Kahr 11 years later when he ordered his murder as part of the Night of the Long Knives.